Morning, everybody. Trying to dry out all our stuff. There's quite a bit of condensation up here, but we get that early morning sun, so it's drying out just fine. We had a fun little visitor last night. About 2:30 in the morning, I got up to pee, and I literally got back in my tent, took a pill, got in my sleeping bag, and I immediately heard something rummaging through my stuff, like right to my left. So I hurry up and like grab my headlamp, and this like huge porcupine, probably like 2 feet tall, gigantic. Didn't see him again till a couple hours later when he was right here at the side of my tent. And I thought he just kind of bumped my trekking pole because I felt it kind of moving there, but he was actually eating it. So he's able to reach that, and that's a good like 3 feet off the ground. So I don't know if he was on his hind legs chewing on that, but Andy's trekking pole didn't fare as well as mine. Oh my gosh. It's so much worse. And they went after yours. I slept terrible. Headaches again in the middle of the night. Non-alcohol related. I just had to kill that last beer though last night. I'm not carrying a pound again today. 7:57 on the clock. Just enjoying our coffee, letting stuff dry out finally. My tent's still a little wet around the backside. We have a pretty long day today. Not quite sure where we're gonna stop yet, but it's gonna be very, very similar to what yesterday was. So it's gonna be difficult. Yeah, hopefully getting on the trail same time as yesterday, and hopefully no porcupines will attack our gear again at tonight's campsite.
It's good to know. We have to watch out for that.
I know. He was big. That round.
Wow.
It was gigantic.
And it's all fat on people's trekking pole corks.
I grabbed my light because I had it ready because I didn't want to run into what I did last night, not have it ready if I have to, whatever. And that thing's 5 or 6 feet out, walking away from it, and he had my sandal in his mouth. He like just kind of looked at me, and I could tell immediately like, you're not gonna scare this. I think I might have said something to it, but I could tell immediately he like just didn't care. It's hard to see, but you can't mistake a porcupine silhouette.
Right.
Nothing looks like that.
Dragging its tail, a bunch of quills sticking out.
Imagine if you scared it and got quill.
I was just thinking, like, if that thing like walks over to my tent, like, what do you do? Starting with elevation first thing here in the morning. There's the lake we camped down. We camped out in that little porcupine patch down there. Headed up this very, very rocky pass right now. And it gets very vertical near the top. This is gonna be a pretty cool pass. Up there, straight ahead, you see them?
Oh yeah.
There's humans.
I see him go across.
One making the pass there and one up top. But that's our pass. That is super steep. You can see right down there where we camped. Ridge up here behind me, you can see. Very steep. This is a really cool hike, so beautiful.
Ooh, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't hear this one.
Got it. He got the porcupine too.
He didn't get
Get the cork and
that
foam.
nearly as you did.
Yeah.
He got chewed up.
I actually kind of like my porcupine mod. It gives like a little bit of grip to the handle. On the top of Lake Ann Pass now, 0.98, almost 1 full mile. We're going down, and it looks like it's going to level out a little bit down in here. I know we have a lot of downhill today, and probably like another 8 to 10 miles of pretty easy hiking before we go back up at the end of the day.
I'd rather go down this side. Yes, definitely.
Oh wow, this is gorgeous.
I know, I need to get some.
Talk about exposed on the side of a mountain. Just dropped back down into tree line here. We're at about 11,700 for elevation. That pass was 12,600. It's looking like we have about 2,000 more feet to go down, and then we're gonna make our way back up and camp. I think something similar to what we did last night, which was like 11,800. Feeling so much better today though. I don't have any lightheadedness. My body is finally getting used to the elevation. I was joking, I gave it to Kevin. Kevin's kind of feeling crappy today. He hasn't been sleeping real well, and honestly, I really haven't either. I don't know, I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling very optimistic. It's gonna get better from here on out. Doing our last climb for the day, and this one was a doozy. We started the climb, we went down to 10,000 feet, and we started at like 10,300. We're at 11,600 now, or I am. We're all kind of spaced out, but I'm about to go above tree line here, and I just did a small little section and pushed. This is a tough climb. We're already at like 15 miles in for the day. I'm still all right. Yesterday was really rough, and I think Kevin's fighting himself today too. So should be close. I'm guessing within a half mile and maybe no more than 200 or 300 feet up. We'll see. Me and Kevin are sharing our strings together for our tie-outs and our tents. Decent night's sleep. It's definitely not as cold today as it has been. I think on my watch it said it dropped low of like 41. It's not bad. Condensation is better than it has been with this really terrible campsite last night. And there's not a whole lot of great camping in the area, so we shared it with a few other thru hikers as well. Getting a beautiful sunrise this morning, getting our wet shoes because we had to do a stream crossing yesterday, and getting some gear dried out here. Today's hike is going to be pretty sweet. There's going to be a lot of ridge walking, and from what we've heard, it's going to be like one of the best sections on the trail, or at least probably going to be the best day of hiking that we've had thus far. View's just opening up like crazy out here. We're gonna be pretty much exposed like all day today. We're going over this pass here in front of us. That's our climb for this morning. And then it should level off. We're gonna do a lot of ridge walking today, a lot of exposure. So this is the first day I've put sunscreen on. My legs are already pretty crispy, but yeah, this is gonna be the most epic day of the trip for sure. Hands down the most like consistent epic scenery on any trip I've ever done. But wow, this is strenuous. It might not be that terrible if you're actually like acclimated, but we are not. Top of the pass, we're at 12,175 feet. I would have taken a couple switchbacks up that.
That's what I'm saying. Would have made played longer distance, but a lot easier, you know?
Yeah. Cottonwood Pass, I think this marks where we're gonna start doing our big ridge walk. I like a good challenge. This has been beyond challenge. I mean, it's very difficult. We kind of went into this not really knowing what we were doing completely. I thought we had a 12-mile day and that was the hardest day, but we did a 14, and yesterday was a 16, and today our options for good camping, or camping in general, are 10 miles or 18. I don't know about an 18 today. Starting this climb up to the ridge. Hey, excited. It's gonna be good. 12,600 some feet. See, we got some
ice up here, some snow. I can feel the wind already like making my hands cold despite sweating everywhere else. So I got my little rain gloves. I'm gonna throw those on. It'll also help keep the backs of my hands and my fingers from burning too much. But we're over 7 miles in for the day. I think we're waiting on a water source because this has been a pretty long water carry. I'm running pretty low. I probably have, I don't know, a half a liter left. It's looking like we might stop for camp shortly after that, like within 3 miles. We've also tossed around the idea of doing a 20 today and getting out of here.
Don't you dare say that.
We're sleeping in the mountains tonight and our plane leaves tomorrow, at least me and Andy's. We didn't want like 8 miles to hike out tomorrow, but that's what it's looking like it's gonna be. Commuting all the way back to Evergreen and then to Denver. We have a shuttle going to the airport, so it's just a lot of stuff to tack on extra miles in the morning. A little bit difficult trying to figure out where to camp to make a nice easy day tomorrow, but we're just gonna get up super early. Like I think we decided on the trail at like 5:30 a.m. We're gonna hopefully find a spot in here within the next half mile. You can see I'm completely surrounded by probably like almost 13,000 foot peaks. And we're going up one of those tomorrow. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be that one right there because it looks the most accessible. But this is a really, really cool area in here. This camping spot, all the reviews and everything tell us to sleep with all our food inside our tent, as well as like shoes and stuff, because the marmots and the pikas just devour everything in this area.
Nice. Oh, look at that beautiful glow. Good morning, everybody. It's day 5 on the Colorado Trail, our last day. It is 5:20 in the morning right now. Beautiful sunrise coming up right now. It's really bright orange over there. Basically, we're getting started very early because we have about 11 miles to do, then like 3 hours driving, a plane to catch. It's just gonna be an entire day of traveling, especially for me because I have to drive 2 hours from Columbus after we get off the plane. So I won't start at 5:20 in the morning. I won't be home till like 3 o'clock in the morning tonight. It's gonna be a day. Luckily, when we're doing this first pass over here, the sun won't be on us, so it'll actually be nice and cool starting this morning. Once we get over that pass, the sun will be directly beaming on us for probably the duration of the hike, because it's going to be a lot of exposure like yesterday was. But yeah, I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. Just waiting on these guys to get packed up. I was the last one up, first one ready though.
That's pretty impressive.
I bet your systems look better in your backpacks than mine do though. And we're back on the trail. Man, I really did not film a whole lot on this trip. It's just so difficult for me at this elevation, this altitude, to feel normal. Actually, last night was the first night that I didn't wake up with a headache or have a headache at all. So I'm finally starting to get acclimated now that we're done out here. But this campsite was at 12,040 feet, and this first pass is going to be 12,800. So even higher. Is that the highest? That might be the highest we're gonna be this trip. 12.8 today. And we go back down and we're gonna do another pass. And then at some point it's supposed to be all downhill, but I'll believe it when I see it.
get some sun. Oh, it's so pretty out this morning. On top of the pass here, 12,800 feet. Finally get our first view of where we're going down here. That pass wasn't that bad though. It's probably the easiest out of all of them. It's graded nice, and all the other ones we've done have been pretty steep. But yeah, I'm getting off this ridge. It's freezing up here. It's our last water fill up for the day. We're like 2.5 miles in. We pretty much won't have water till the end, so it's gonna be like an 8 or 9 mile stretch. So we're just filling it up here while we can. Our 5th pass of the trip. This one's 12.8. The last one was 12.7. Luckily we didn't go down super low, but it's still like a 700-foot climb. It's crazy. This weather out here, I'm not used to this at all. The sun really plays games with you. It'd really be like 50 degrees, but when the sun's on you, it feels like 90 something. But it's really nice when you're in the exposure and you come around like a tree in the shade, and it just feels 20 degrees cooler. And no humidity out here is just so nice. All right, this last climb is making us work. It's a lot steeper than the other one, which was that. And having a full capacity load out of water doesn't help. Oh boy, this is the last big climb of the day though. There should be one smaller one, so that's okay. Last day out here, I'm just soaking it up. Just getting my last little fill of Colorado before I fly out to Ohio, land of the free. Okay, I'm done talking.
The worst descent of this trip.
We had a pretty, yes, agreed. We had a pretty bad one that first day, didn't we?
One coming down from the pass.
Yeah.
I think we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh,
One will suck because it's at
that was
5.
steep as we need this.
Well said.
Keep that in.
I couldn't.
Put it out.
I couldn't say it any better myself.
That one sucked. I think that was the worst one of the whole trip.
That was so steep. There were steps, you know.
Yeah.
Probably one of the harder ones, maybe the hardest one we've done as far as just grade and steepness. Very aggressive switchbacks, but now through this whole valley right here, I can just see the trail go all along this side, so it's like completely flat and it feels so good. Oh, this is a sight for sore eyes right here.
Wow.
This part of the trail's awesome.
I know, right? At least we get to end well, other than that downhill, at least we get to end on a good note.
Going through one of these boulder fields, which are probably the least enjoyable sections of this trail. But I'll say the West Collegiate here, it pretty much runs along, or it does run along the CDT. So we've pretty much been on the Continental Divide Trail this entire trip. Really beautiful, very well maintained. The scenery is just unlike anything I've ever seen. It is just top notch. The climbs are difficult. Definitely want to be super lightweight when you come out here. I should have taken more time and prepared more. It's definitely not the trip to bring 4 pounds of camera gear on, I'll tell you that right now. I'd be doing a lot better if I didn't have that. And I mean, I got a backpacking chair too. I could drop probably 6 pounds off this pack pretty easy if I wanted to. If I knew how bad the elevation or the altitude was, probably would have taken more time on that. Oh, and if you guys haven't already, make sure you go check out Andy and Kevin's channel. It's called Shill Brothers Outdoors. They're getting clips out here too. They got some really funny ones too. I actually can't wait to see their video because It's gonna be really good. Kevin's been filming just a ton. Go check out theirs after you're done watching this, and give them a sub too. Help the brothers out. Help a brother out. I think we have 2.3 miles until the road that we're parked on, which is like a really rocky, like off-road trail road. But we're gonna have probably a 4-mile road walk. Right now, we're descending from the pass. This will be our last big descent, and it's gonna be a doozy. We just looked at the map, and the switchbacks are crazy. It's gonna be fun.
Here, south is kind of there. So we do the switchback right down there. So we're meeting up with this road.
You are right. Yeah.
Back here.
All right, we made it down off the mountain, switching back in all the way down through the pines to this little off-road here where all the Jeeps have been driving past. We're gonna try to hitch. If we can find a truck going in that direction, that'd be awesome to get a ride. But we have about 4 miles. Make sure you guys check out Shill Brothers Outdoors video on this. It's gonna be probably better than mine. They got a lot more footage.
It'll be out sooner, that's for sure.
That's true, and that's it. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.